Welcome back to another tutorial. On today's tutorial, we're going to be going through everything that's on your Tesla screen real briefly. We're not going to get into anything. We're going to show you what's on there, what it does, and why you need it there. So let's get into it. Okay, now on the screen, it is set up onto two different sides. You have all the stuff to do with your navigating, your settings, your display, everything over here. Your backup camera is going to all be over here. We'll talk more about that in a minute. And then on this side is all to do with your driving, okay? Your autopilot settings, all of that that control your car is going to all be over here. They're not affected. They're almost like two completely different screens. So we're going to go through a list of all these things and what they do, what these buttons mean and all that. And in future videos, we'll get into actually use the functions that those buttons open. But today, let's just get into that. So on the left-hand side, let's start here. So over here, we have the backup camera. Next to that, we have the power, controlling all of your power. Right here, we have press to talk and command your car. For example, navigate me to my house. Just below that, you have the windshield wiper controls. Where you press that, you could click it on right there, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 speeds as well as automatic. And we'll just keep that off right there, considering it's no longer raining. If you want to open up your trunk, you press here. Open up your charge port, you press there. Open up the front, you press there. The name of your car goes right there. Don't forget to name your car. The gear you're in up here is going to be displayed there. But when you are in drive, you see there's a lot more other settings that come into play up there, such as your seatbelt, and you've got all your notifications up here for your, cruise control, your adaptive cruise control, your headlights, your automatic headlights. All of that is all going to be displayed up here. I don't have my seatbelt on now. Hold is on, which means that the car is locked. I don't have to put my foot on the brake. It's going to stay locked in place. You've got the 4 different driving settings: park, reverse, neutral, and drive over here. Your battery percentage, as well as a little visual of the battery right there. And by the way, if you want another way to get to the actual power settings besides right here, is you can just click right there on the battery and it'll also pull it up there to see where your battery levels are at. Now you have this lock right here, which when is pressed, it will lock the car, lock the front, lock everything about the car in terms of not being able to open it and stuff like that. Next one obviously is the time and temperature. And then over here you have the Tesla symbol, which when you press on that, that is where you find all the information about your car. For example, we'll look at that in a minute, 9,100 miles currently on my car, my VIN number, all of that is there. But when you slide it down, this is where you have all those little nuggets. You got the famous whoopee cushion, all this other stuff we can go through at another time. Next to that here, you have your profiles. And when you click on that, it's going to pull up all the people that have profiles in your car, such as me, my wife. And then easy entry is a profile setting that you set up when you create your profiles that moves the seats just the way you want them for getting in and out of the car more easily. Next to that up here, we have the camera button for both Sentry mode and dash cam footage. So if I'm in park and I press on it, okay, what's going to happen? It's going to say save footage or launch viewer. When you click launch viewer, that is where you're going to actually get access to all the footage that your car recorded, whenever you were last operating it. Next to it is your Wi-Fi settings. Right now I'm on LTE, but if I had Wi-Fi on, as you can see right here, connected, it would be showing up there as connected. Then you have your Bluetooth settings next to there, which this is really important because when you click on Bluetooth, you have in here sync messages, sync contacts, chime on new message. This means that when someone texts you, it's going to pop up down here in your cards. So over here on the left hand side is where all your cards are going to be. You have your tire pressures in here, but that's also where it'll pop up any notifications that are being sent to you, such as who's calling, where you can answer. When you press the microphone button, that all pops up there as well. So that's where everything comes to. So all your notifications right there is really nice. And so, but the settings for that are all in here. Now, when you sync your phone, just something to keep in mind, it's not going to automatically sync your messages. It's just going to sync your contacts. So if you do want your messages to be coming to your car, you need to go in separately and set that up in there. Again, we'll cover that in another video. By adding another device, you can just click add right there and you're fine. Obviously, the one right here, Superman, is me, which you guys can all understand. Now, there is the map here, obviously, and when you click on heads up, it's going to bring you back to where you currently are located. So if you're off here in some other place looking around, if you tap that button, it's going to bring you right back to your current location. Now, if you want to turn this into satellite map and you're paying for your data package, or maybe you bought an all-wheel drive model and you have your data package for a year, when you tap on the screen, it's going to pull up a few more settings. You have the zoom in, zoom out, but you can also pinch and expand your fingers to change all of that. If you want it to be satellite view, you simply click on the globe right here, and it's going to put it into satellite view. It's very beautiful, very bright. If you would like to see traffic, okay, you click on the little traffic light button here, and that's going to show you all the traffic in your area. There's no traffic in mine now. If you'd like to see where all of these superchargers are, just click on the supercharging button there, and it's going to give you a list of all of them right here, which of course leads us to the navigation button up here. You have this button right here. If you click on it, it's going to give you your home. It's going to give you recent addresses, all of that in here that you've been to, all the different places you can go. Your home, your work, if you've had those registered, will be on there as well. One thing you can also do is if you drag and pull down, it'll take you to work. If you're at home, you can pull down or go sideways, doesn't matter, one direction or the other. It'll automatically take you to that location if you're in the opposite. So you have work and you have home. So if you're at home, it'll take you to work. If you're at work, it'll take you to home. By doing that, it's very convenient, very nice. Down below on the map, you have the exact street that you're on currently. So even if you're not navigating, you could always just look down there to see what road you're currently sitting on. Top right corner, it says passenger airbag is off. There's nothing you can do about that. It is just simply based on a sensor of who is sitting on the seat and how much they weigh. Now let's talk more about these cards that come up here, your notification cards. So you see there's 3 dots down here on the bottom. When you swipe right, it's going to pull up the PS, or right to left, it's going to pull up the PSI for each individual tire. Now, if you get in your car and it's showing you a warning, this will automatically pop up saying one tire is low. You do not need to go in and manually check it each day to see the pressure of your tires. If there's a problem, it'll pop up here. So for example, when it gets really, really cold, or goes from really, really cold to really, really hot, sometimes your tires can expand and contract, and you can have a little bit difference in your tire pressures, and they will pop up right there. If you swipe over to the left, then you have your tachometer. So now you notice there are a lot of little buttons down here on the bottom. I don't know if you call them buttons, tabs, whatever you want to call them. They cannot be rearranged. They're stationary where they are. A couple things about them. A lot of them have functionality that requires you not to only be touching them to make them work. So for example, if I wanted to adjust the temperature, I could click on that to turn the temp on, but when I press on that, you can see it brings up the temperature thing, right? But if I press on it and slide, you can see I can go anywhere, up here, over here, it doesn't matter where I am, I can adjust as long as I don't lift my finger back off the screen. And then to turn it back off again, just tap the fan or press and hold the fan and it'll shut that back down. These right here are going to be, oh, one more thing on that. If you want individual temperatures, just untap sync and you see this splits into 2 different ones, and then each person has their own. If you want them back to 1 to control the whole car at once, then it just gets done right there. You can also tap on the arrows that appear here to adjust the temperature while you're in the car. If you do just press on this here, the little picture of a fan, it's going to give you a visualization of how the airflow is set in your car currently. You've got all kinds of stuff here. You got climate will turn off after you leave the car. Climate will stay on after you leave the car, will turn off when battery reaches 20%. You got dog mode. So basically, if you're going to leave a dog in the car or pet in the car, turn that on and it'll keep them cool. You don't have to roll your windows down. It's really nice. And it displays something here on the screen as well when you get out to let people know that it's in pet mode. And then camping mode is car will stay on until battery reaches 20%. Sentry mode, security alarm, and walk away locks will be disabled. Okay, so I'm going to keep that off for right now. In order to control all the different winds in your car, or where the wind is blowing, where the air is blowing, you just simply press on your side, and when you do that, scroll lines over here appear, so you can see if I wanted to put it towards my feet, if I want to put it up high or just right in the middle, put it together, you can change it. You have a lot of control where you want the air to flow. Each one is done individually. Now I have it set on auto right now, but if I wanted to turn off auto, I just simply tap that. I can adjust the fan speed. I can make it circulate with air inside the car. All your usual settings, where it's blowing to and all that. If I press on the heat setting right here, I can tap on all the different seats that I would like heated up. Now this is a feature of having the premium package that I have. So if you do not have the premium package, I don't believe you have heated seats in the back. You can click all off and turn them all off at once, which is really nice. But obviously you don't have to turn that on to adjust the heat in the front seats, only in the back seats. In the front, what you have to do is just simply tap on the a driver's side and passenger side, 3 bars, 2, 1, and they eventually just turn off. They work very, very quickly and become very, very hot. You have defrost for the front window, rear window, and then you have your volume controls. And again, the volume is the same thing. When you press on it, you can slide your finger wherever you want to adjust that speed. So the reason why this is important is if you're driving down the road, you don't want to keep watching what it's doing there because that's dangerous. You just reach over here, put your finger on it, and just start sliding until you get it right. Now, of course, most of us are going to use the wheel, the little thingy over here on the wheel. But it's there as well. These are some of the biggest parts of what you're going to use of the car. When you do press this button here, we're not going to go through all the settings today, but when you press that, it's going to bring up all your different accessory options. I mean, you've got your phone, your calendar, your camera, which again, your backup camera, which is also right here, your energy, the charging, which is what is also up there, your web browser, entertainment, and toy box, which toy box that we looked at earlier. All the settings for the car are going to be on the car button there. We'll go through these another time, what is all inside of there as well. That's going to be one of the next videos. Down here, then you have, and the last thing we have here is music. And inside your music is when you're going to have all your different options from radio, connected to your phone via Bluetooth, streaming, and this is streaming using the Tesla streaming service. I forget what they actually call it. Karaoke or karaoke. Spotify, and then tune in, which is like a podcast thing, and then you have your settings, and then any music you can just kind of search, again assuming you have the premium package. Now when using your screen, there's a lot of neat functionality to it. So one thing is, let's say that you want to pull up your music. Obviously you could tap it, right, and that'll put it right back to the last spot that the screen was actually in. So it was fully open here, so it put it back to that. So you could see, you could pull it down and that'll be halfway. This is going to show you your favorites, okay, and your most recents. You're going to see a lot of that on there, which is really great. And then if you want to pull it down one more, it's just going to give you the basic controls of controlling your music. Now, you can also come down here if you don't want to, tap that and come up, move it all around. You can put your finger over here on the music thing. You can tap it on, tap it off, or you could press your finger on it like the others and hold and just drag it. See how they're all working together here on the left side, even though I'm over here, not on that screen. As long as I start right here, it holds the functionality of that button. Also, one thing that's kind of nice is if you want to see the most recent dash cam footage, if you just put your finger on here, right on this button, and just drag it up, when you release that, it's going to show your most recent recorded, I think, a dash cam video. You can see right here, the house in front of me. You can look all around the car and all that and see that on there really quick and easy. We'll go through a little more of that another time. In fact, I think we already did in the Century View video. Also, you can put your finger right here on the car, drag that up, and it's going to pull it up the same. It doesn't really mean much. Same thing as tapping it. One thing that people ask me all the time is, how do you get the glove box open? It's just the button that never goes away on the bottom of the settings button here. You just press that. It's going to put it up. It does not close automatically though, so keep that in mind. Now, there's a lot of things I can't show you right now, such as what happens to this side of the screen when we're in autopilot, but don't worry, we'll get to that in a future autopilot video, which we're doing pretty soon. So make sure that you guys tune in for that if you're trying to learn about autopilot. So right now, what I want you guys to do is do me a favor, go down and hit that like button. It makes me feel really good. It really helps with the algorithms on YouTube to get this video out to help people. And if this video was informative, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That's it for today. See you guys on the next video.